inspired by true principles of chaos theory. The science is real, the butterfly effect is real, the chain reactions are real, but the names have been changed, the faces are different. Because this isn't about one story, it's about every story. This could happen anywhere to anyone, including you. The argument. A man fights with his wife in Phoenix, Arizona. He storms out, goes to a bar, drinks to calm down, acts responsibly, calls an Uber instead of driving drunk. The Uber driver, Marcus, picks him up at 11:47 p.m., but Marcus was supposed to pick up someone else first. Dr. Sarah Chen, a trauma surgeon racing to Phoenix Memorial Hospital for an emergency surgery. Because Marcus took the bar pickup, Dr. Chen's request times out. She gets a different driver who takes longer. She arrives 23 minutes late. The patient, a 19-year-old car accident victim, bleeds out on the table. The family sues Phoenix Memorial Hospital. The hospital settles for $4.2 million. Budget cuts follow. Nurses are laid off. One of them, desperate, makes a fatal mistake at her new job. 2 people dead, all because a man in Phoenix had a fight with his wife and called an Uber. This is the argument. This is the butterfly effect. Prologue. We think responsible choices protect us from consequences. A man gets drunk but calls a rideshare instead of driving. He did the right thing. He followed the rules. He didn't hurt anyone, except he did. Because in a world connected by apps, by GPS coordinates, by algorithms that assign drivers to passengers, every choice creates a ripple. When you request a ride, you're not just summoning a car. You're pulling a driver away from someone else. You're changing their route, their timing, their life, and sometimes the person who needed that driver more than you was a surgeon racing to save a life. This is the story of David Monroe, 42, a construction manager from Phoenix, Arizona, who had a screaming fight with his wife, Rebecca, on the night of November 8, 2024. David left the house, drove to a bar called the Cactus Lounge, and spent 3 hours drinking whiskey to numb his anger. At 11:45 p.m., drunk and exhausted, David made the responsible choice. He opened the Uber app and requested a ride home. That choice killed 2 people. Phoenix, Arizona, the fight. Phoenix, Arizona, USA. November 8, 2024, 8:34 p.m. David Monroe and his wife Rebecca are in their kitchen in the Arcadia neighborhood of Phoenix, screaming at each other. It's the same fight they've had 100 times. Money, work, time. David works 60-hour weeks managing construction projects across Phoenix. Rebecca feels abandoned, alone. Tonight, she finally snaps. "You care more about those buildings than you care about us." David's face goes red. "I'm working my ass off so we can live in this house in Phoenix, so you can have everything you want." Rebecca's voice cracks. "I don't want things, David. I want you." But David is too angry to hear it. He grabs his keys. "I need to get out of here." Rebecca pleads, "Don't leave like this." But David is already out the door. He gets in his truck, drives to the Cactus Lounge, a dive bar on Camelback Road in Phoenix. He orders a whiskey, then another, then another. By 11:30 p.m., David has had 6 drinks. He's drunk, angry, miserable. He pulls out his phone to call Rebecca, to apologize, but his pride won't let him. Instead, he opens the Uber app. He's not stupid. He's not driving home like this. He requests a ride. Pickup location, the Cactus Lounge. Destination, home in Arcadia, Phoenix. The app searches for a driver. Phoenix, Arizona, the driver. Phoenix, Arizona, USA. November 8, 2024, 11:45 p.m. Marcus Green, 29, has been driving for Uber in Phoenix for 2 years. It's his second job. By day, he works as a warehouse supervisor. By night, he drives to pay off student loans. Tonight, Marcus is parked outside a Walgreens on Indian School Road in Phoenix, waiting for his next ride request. His phone pings. New request, Dr. Sarah Chen. Pickup, her home in the Biltmore area of Phoenix. Destination, Phoenix Memorial Hospital. Estimated pickup time, 11:52 p.m. Marcus accepts. He starts driving toward the Biltmore neighborhood, but 3 minutes later at 11:48 p.m., another request pings. Higher surge pricing, closer pickup, David Monroe. The Cactus Lounge, only 2 miles from Marcus's current location. The algorithm prioritizes it. Marcus's app automatically switches. Your ride has been reassigned. Dr. Sarah Chen's request times out. She's put back in the queue. Marcus doesn't think twice. He drives to the Cactus Lounge in Phoenix, Arizona, the surgeon. Phoenix, Arizona, USA. November 8, 2024. 11:46 p.m. Dr. Sarah Chen, 38, trauma surgeon, is standing in her driveway in the Biltmore area of Phoenix, pacing, staring at her phone. She just got an emergency call from Phoenix Memorial Hospital. A 19-year-old male, Daniel Reyes, was in a severe car accident on I-10. Massive internal bleeding. He needs emergency surgery immediately. Dr. Chen is the only trauma surgeon available in Phoenix tonight. Her car is in the shop. She requested an Uber at 11:45 p.m. The app said a driver would arrive in 7 minutes. Now it says finding you a driver. She refreshes again. Finally, at 11:51 p.m., a new driver accepts. Estimated arrival 8 minutes. That's 8 minutes later than the first driver. Dr. Chen's chest tightens. Every second counts. She calls the hospital. I'm on my way. Start prepping him. I'll be there as fast as I can. The Uber arrives at 11:59 p.m. Dr. Chen jumps in. Phoenix Memorial. Fast as you can. The driver nods. But Phoenix traffic is unpredictable. A minor accident on 24th Street slows them down. They arrive at Phoenix Memorial Hospital at 12:22 a.m., 23 minutes later than if Marcus had picked her up. Phoenix, Arizona. The patient. Phoenix, Arizona, USA. Phoenix Memorial Hospital. 12:22 a.m. Daniel Reyes, 19, college student at Arizona State University, has been on the operating table for 31 minutes. The surgical team has been doing everything they can to stop the internal bleeding, but they need Dr. Chen. They've been holding, waiting, praying she gets there in time. At 12:18 a.m., Daniel's blood pressure drops dangerously low. The anesthesiologist calls out vitals. BP 60/40, pulse thready, he's crashing. The attending physician, Dr. Miller, a general surgeon, does his best, but he's not a trauma specialist. He can't locate the bleed fast enough. At 12:22 a.m., Dr. Chen rushes into the Phoenix Memorial OR, scrubbing as fast as she can. But when she enters, the monitors are flatlining. The team is performing CPR. Dr. Chen takes over immediately. She opens the patient further, finds the severed artery, clamps it. But it's too late. Daniel Reyes has lost too much blood. His heart won't restart. At 12:41 a.m., Dr. Chen calls it. Time of death, 12:41 a.m. She pulls off her gloves, stares at the young man's body, and feels the crushing weight of failure. If she'd been there 20 minutes earlier, he'd be alive. Phoenix, Arizona, the lawsuit. Phoenix, Arizona, USA, December 2024. Daniel Reyes's parents, Maria and Luis, are devastated. Their only son, dead at 19. They hire a medical malpractice attorney in Phoenix. The attorney investigates, discovers that Dr. Chen, the trauma surgeon, arrived 23 minutes late. That Phoenix Memorial Hospital had no backup trauma surgeon on call. That Daniel bled out waiting. The lawsuit is filed, Reyes family versus Phoenix Memorial Hospital. Negligence, wrongful death, failure to provide adequate staffing. The case goes to trial in June 2025. The evidence is damning. Phoenix Memorial settles for $4.2 million, but the real damage is the PR nightmare. Phoenix Hospital let teen bleed to death. The hospital's reputation craters. Insurance premiums skyrocket. The board of directors orders immediate budget cuts. In August 2025, Phoenix Memorial lays off 35 nurses and 12 support staff to cover costs. Phoenix, Arizona, the nurse. Phoenix, Arizona, USA, August 2025. Among the nurses laid off from Phoenix Memorial is Jessica Torres, 31, a dedicated ICU nurse who's worked there for 7 years. Jessica is blindsided. She has 2 kids, a mortgage, no savings. She applies everywhere in Phoenix, hospitals, clinics, urgent care centers. Finally, in September, she's hired at a small urgent care clinic in Mesa, just outside Phoenix. The pay is lower, The staff is understaffed. The hours are brutal. Jessica is overworked, exhausted, resentful. On October 14, 2025, a patient comes in with chest pain, looks like heartburn. Jessica, frazzled and rushing through a 12-hour shift, doesn't run a full EKG. She gives the patient antacids and sends him home. The patient's name is Robert Kim, 52. He's having a heart attack. He dies in his car in the parking lot 20 minutes later. Phoenix, Arizona. The Uber driver. Phoenix, Arizona, USA. November 2025. Marcus Green, the Uber driver, has no idea about any of this. He's still driving for Uber in Phoenix, still working his warehouse job, still paying off loans. On the anniversary of that night, November 8, 2025, Marcus is parked outside the same Walgreens on Indian School Road in Phoenix, waiting for a ride request. He doesn't remember picking up David Monroe from the Cactus Lounge a year ago. He's picked up thousands of passengers since then. It was just another ride, just another fare. He has no idea that choosing that ride over Dr. Sarah Chen's request set off a chain reaction. That a 19-year-old college student bled to death. That a hospital paid $4.2 million. That 47 people lost their jobs in Phoenix. That a nurse made a fatal mistake. That another man is dead. Marcus will never know. Because the app doesn't tell you who you didn't pick up. It doesn't show you the alternate timeline. It just shows you the next ride. Phoenix, Arizona, the husband. Phoenix, Arizona, USA. November 2025. David Monroe and Rebecca are still married. Barely. They went to couples therapy after that fight. Things are better. Not great, but better. David thinks about that night sometimes. The fight, the bar, the Uber ride home. He's grateful he didn't drive drunk. Grateful he made the responsible choice. He tells the story at parties sometimes. I was so wasted, but I called an Uber. Did the right thing, you know? People nod, agree, applaud his responsibility. David has no idea. No idea that his Uber request pulled Marcus away from Dr. Sarah Chen. No idea that a 19-year-old kid named Daniel Reyes died because Marcus picked him up instead of her. No idea that his responsible choice killed 2 people in Phoenix. And he'll never know. Because the butterfly doesn't send notifications, the butterfly just flies, and the hurricane destroys everything in its path. Butterfly effect. A man fights with his wife in Phoenix, storms out, goes to a bar, drinks, calls an Uber responsibly. The driver who picks him up was supposed to pick up a surgeon. The surgeon arrives 23 minutes late. A 19-year-old dies. A hospital pays $4.2 million. 47 people lose their jobs in Phoenix. A nurse makes a fatal mistake. Another man dies. 2 dead. Dozens of lives destroyed. All because a man in Phoenix had a fight. All because he did the responsible thing. This is the argument. This is chaos. This is the butterfly effect.